Let's
Say
see.
hi. Listening and cleaning my classroom. It's so messy. Oh,
Oh, it says we're live now. Hello, everybody. Let us know if you can hear and see us. It's not
hear
coming up
it,
on my
guys.
iPad.
I see some of your chatting, but tell us if you can hear it. Hop chat, live chat. That's what I want to see.
It's
All
so
of the live
funny.
chat.
So it is delayed on their end. So we should be good to go now. Yes, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with Shannon. Shannon, you look a little bit like, what is happening?
I'm watching YouTube of us right now while you're doing this. I just put it on mute. So
it is so distracting because you're going to watch like.
I'm not going to watch it, but I'm just looking. I was just waiting for the people in the chat to say yes, and they did.
You totally can watch it. They're going to ask questions of you in the chat. So,
okay.
Hello, Shannon, the best workshop host ever. Oh.
Hey.
Oh, super fun. So remember, guys, if you have questions for me or for Shannon, please put them in all caps so that we know you're talking to us. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves and have a little bit of fun in the chat. And yeah, let's get started. Woohoo.
Ready, I'm excited.
All right, Shannon, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, okay. I get a little echo where I'm wondering why it's not consistent though. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, so my name is Shannon. I live in Georgia. I have been with VIPKid since March of 2016. So it's been 4 years and a month roughly so far. So really cool. A lot of interesting things have happened in the past 4 years. I think when I started, I was somewhere in the 800s teacher wise. Now we have over 100,000, so a lot of growth has happened so far. And I've had the privilege of being a workshop mentor since we created the program. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Definitely had part of that.
Nice, thank you.
So yeah, it was something that was definitely needed, but we couldn't, they didn't know what to do. And then we were like, let's just try this thing out and see what happens. And it's been, I guess, a little over 3 years. I think we started like January 2017. So yeah, it's been a cool ride, but yeah, I've enjoyed my time here. And so it's always awesome to connect with other teachers. So.
Mm-hmm. Good. Super fun. I didn't even know. I guess I forget that I'm very fortunate having started 8 months ago that there's so many things in place or were in place for me to get started.
Oh yeah. When I started, we didn't have anything. Like they were like, here, read some stuff. We hope for the best.
Melissa was on yesterday in one of our collaborations, and she was telling us about, new teachers now versus then too. So
it was definitely a different ball game 4 years ago. It was kind of crazy, but we got used to it. It's always so funny because people are like, oh, this is so great, or this is so terrible. I wish something's like this. And I was like, if people only knew what writing feedback was like, unit assessments were horrible 4 years ago. It was the worst.
Right.
It was so bad. You literally, people who don't know this, 4 years ago, when you did a unit assessment, you had to actually download a Word document to your computer. You had to fill the Word doc out with all the little stupid circle things, type in the feedback, save it under the child's name, and then send it to the company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was crazy.
Wow.
A lot of cool improvements since then.
You've got lots of great comments over here. So know you're doing good things. I love Shannon. Your workshops are awesome. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for coming again. Amanda L said, I always leave Shannon's workshops feeling rejuvenated. Thank you. Woo! I know, right?
All right. That's what I'm there to do. If you leave my workshop feeling anything less, then I kind of messed up.
Right. I leave with awesome tips. I mean, I wrote that in for later, but your whistle, when you're like, that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's great.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go to a workshop.
You got to go to the workshop.
So what was your why for starting with VIPKid?
Money was the reverse reason, because I needed a job. I had gone out of town with my parents. I think we went to Panama, and I had met a friend there who was teaching in some online capacity. And I was like, you know what? I should do that, because do something online to make some extra money. And to be honest, people always say, how did you find VIPKid? My answer is, I looked for whatever paid the most at the time. And that was the company that I went with. And I mean, really, when I started, it was still the company that you weren't really sure whether you were going to get paid or not. Like,
right.
you just didn't know. So I was like, okay, looks good enough to me. I went for it, got hired, and I was like, first month, I don't know what's going to happen. And then it's all history from there. Things definitely changed after I started teaching.
Yeah. So were you a brick and mortar teacher first?
I was not. I had experience in tutoring for a long time, probably about 10 years before starting, in a number of different subjects, but I never taught in the regular classroom. I don't have a teaching degree.
Okay.
My degree is not in education. It's in nothing teaching related. I always mention in my workshops, my degree is in pretty much talking. So
Yeah.
I actually went to school. Essentially, I was going to go into radio. That was kind of the direction I wanted to go into. So my degree is in media studies.
Okay.
So yeah, it just happens that I enjoy talking, and I think of myself as sort of a natural teacher. So it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah. You talk like in the workshops about grammar and stuff, like you've been in there teaching, and I mean,
you know, I think one of the most important parts about it, especially for anyone who's watching this, who is not from the teaching world, I think it's important to realize that you will get some things just by osmosis, as they say, but it's also really important, if you want to be a quality teacher, that you go outside of your box, outside of your bubble, and you find the information. And I took a 10-month TESOL course. I read and watch anything I can get my hands on that has to do with ESL or teaching tactics, because I know that those are the things I need to bring myself up to par. I need to, that's how I felt since the beginning. I was like, I'm behind all these teachers who have taught for all these years and know all these tactics. I need to improve myself, because my students deserve the best version that I can give them. And at that point, when I started, that was not it. That was just somebody trying their best to do who knows what. So yeah, I was like, I have to become better than what I am right now. So that's kind of my journey, always looking for something that can help me to be a better teacher for the students in my classroom.
I definitely have to always practice my grammar, because I'm terrible at it. So I always have to look for the grammar slides. Give me math any day, you know. When it comes to grammar, and I'm like, let me look that up for you.
Every time people come in the grammar workshop, they're like, Shannon, what about passive and active sit? And I'm like, y'all, no, we're not talking about that one. You need to, I don't want to talk about it, because it's always student. I'm like, I had one kid recently, I was like, this is going to be hard. Okay. So I need you to pay attention. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And of course it didn't go well. And I was like, we'll try again next class.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like emphatic and reflexive
pronouns. Oh, gosh. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I still don't know what that means. Every time I get across it, I'm like, okay, let's see if I can do this right. Can I do this justice? Right.
I have one that asks me questions every class, so I know what's coming. So I have to literally study. Okay. Oh, Amanda Panda, I did write that question to her. Should we ask her now? They're already wanting to know about your podcast.
Oh my gosh, my podcast.
We're so excited. We are excited.
Yeah. All right. I would love to talk about my podcast.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so my podcast is called VIPKid World with Shannon, and you can find it anywhere. Apple, Spotify, anybody, you have it. So VIPKid World with Shannon. And it was an idea that I wanted to do because workshops are great, but sometimes people can't attend workshops. And also sometimes I really feel like I have a lot of other information that doesn't fit into my workshops, but that I want to talk about, 60 minutes. You think 60 minutes is a long time. It's not. That's why all my workshops are like 65 minutes. I just can't quite make it. But it was like a creative outlet. that I was looking for. I do have a YouTube page, but honestly, I am garbage at YouTube. I have really great videos that stopped like a year and a half ago. If you want to find it, anybody, all you have to do is search VIPKid and Shannon. I'll be the first one to pop up.
Fun.
But I wanted to do it. I started the podcast on the 1st of this year. And I wanted to kind of be able to release some different ideas, something other than just, like bite-sized pieces of quality content. Because sometimes everybody listening, that sometimes it's hard to filter between good stuff and bad stuff on there.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes people talk about things that they don't have a clue what they're talking about. Unfortunately, I see it a lot. I see it, unfortunately, a lot on the gram, on the Instagram. Folks talking about stuff that has nothing to do with anything, and I'm like, this is not right. Let me throw some research at you. So it was a way for me to kind of open that up to the world. And one of the things that I have that is the main feature of my podcast is called the ABCs for VIPs. And what that is it is a series of podcasts that go in alphabetical order. Now, it might sound super unique and like, wow, what a great idea. But in reality, the only reason I did is because I had no idea how to organize my thoughts. So I was like, I need something to keep me on track. So I started with A, and I would think up an idea that I wanted to talk about and would go to town with it. So, I think A is adaptability. B, I don't remember. C is about the Chinese education system, which that's a really powerful podcast that's actually based off of something that came out of this book. It's all Chinese to me. Looks like a cat got a hold of that. But there's a section in here that talks about the Chinese education system that I found really, really interesting. So I talked a good bit about that. And then a few other ones. One of the ones that I always suggest for teachers to watch is the E, which is error correction. I used to have a whole 60-minute workshop on errors. It was an amazing workshop, one of the best workshops I ever created, but the company doesn't like putting it for some reason on the schedule, so it just never comes up. I'm super petty about it, like I really am. But I was like, forget it then. I'm just gonna make a podcast for it. So
you should put in a ticket.
I know. I'm like, hello.
Anyone gonna bring back the error correction workshop, please?
What's the problem? So yeah, I'm trying to put out some new ones. I think I'll probably put out some new ones. A new one. The idea was that it would be once a week, but I mean, guys, come on. I haven't put out a YouTube video in a year. So obviously it's more like once every 3 weeks, but I will do better. I promise. But so far we're up to letter G in the alphabet, so definitely gonna be coming up with H soon. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope you'll check it out, because it's some different content. Very I hope that it helps you to feel like it fills in some gaps with quality teaching, so to speak. So
great. So Amanda Panda, you know how to get to her podcast. Is there a link you can put in?
Yeah, actually, I could probably drop a link.
You can't. I don't think you can't drop a link in the live chat.
Oh, you don't think I can? I bet I can. Let me see.
You don't have a blue wrench. You need a blue wrench.
What's a blue wrench? I don't know what that is.
Comment in my chat and I'll give you a blue wrench, Shannon.
Oh gosh, let me see. In this chat over. Oh, I'm not even signed in.
Oh, you're funny. Well, then you really can't.
It's okay. You just gotta search it. I bet Amanda has a link though. I bet she could.
If Amanda Panda can do that for us, maybe
just search VIPKid World. It'll pop up. Promise.
Okay, sounds good. Wow, we've got lots going on in the chat. Love it, love it. Let's see. Tell about the podcast. Woohoo! Media major. Oh yeah, Kelly's a media major too.
Hey.
She's a fellow YouTuber. She does the reports every week. She's a great one to watch too.
Sweet.
Let's see, Candy. Wow, I love her positive personality. I've learned so much from her grammar workshop. Hey, Paula, welcome.
That's amazing. I love it. I love hearing that.
Oh, she said, it's amazing. I love the podcast. The alphabet letters are wonderful.
Oh, I wish that I could say that there was more creativity behind it, but I was just confused.
She said, C is amazing. Hey, Teacher Joel, welcome. Let's see. How did you get to be a workshop mentor?
I was at the right place at the right time. I feel like the first half of my VIPKid career was just being in the right room. Like,
Nice.
I actually became a mentor, teacher mentor, the old version, in my 6th month with VIPKid, which was the earliest you could possibly become one at the time. That's back when we used to watch teachers' videos, and there was a lot of stuff back then that was a little too close to employee, and then they had to change everything. But I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and now things are a lot more difficult. I mean, back then there were maybe like 3,000 teachers, so 3,000 was a lot easier to make waves than in a bigger pond. But
Right.
yeah, I definitely had a lot of opportunities because of the size of the company and stuff like that. I know that one of the questions that was kind of talked about was, workshop mentoring. And it's not really one of those things where I can be like, hey, all you got to do is just be a good teacher, and one day your chance could come. Because I mean, there's only 25 of us, right? So, or maybe even less than that. I'm not sure. But I do know that usually it's, at least when I started with VIPKid, I put in thousands of free hours for the company on a lot of stuff, whether it was social media wise or whether it was creating different types of content or whatnot. But that kind of stuff definitely helped me to be seen. And with a company that is on the other side of the world, you have to find a way to be seen.
Right.
And also be the kind of person who is, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. Granted, there are a lot of people who would say, I'm not going to waste my money, waste my time, without being paid. And I totally get that. It's just a very odd dynamic, being that we are not working in a building. We are not working with our bosses. Your boss can't just walk down the hallway and see you working, so you have to kind of say, look at me working.
Look, I'm here.
I'm here. I'm doing my thing. I'm being awesome and stuff. Yeah. That was, definitely right place, right time.
That's how I got my foot in the door with DAWS teaching. I don't know if you've heard of it, but the Department of Defense, teaching on the military bases. Right place at the right time. Definitely.
Nice. Very nice.
So, hello, Martha. Thanks for coming.
Hey.
Let's see. I'm going to go back over to mine really quick. You mentioned how long. Oh, what does your VIPKid schedule look like?
Pretty simple, because I don't like to wake up too early. So I'm like, for real, I have another job too. Well, normally it's been a little messed up with this, but I also do sales for my parents' concrete company. So that's something that I help make sure I don't have to wake up monstrously early in the morning. But usually I teach about 5 classes a day, 5 days a week. So usually just that 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, those 5 time slots, Monday through Friday. I used to work 7 days a week. And then that was when I first started, and I was like, I'm dying. And then I took Sundays off. And then for some reason I had a lot of mess ups with my schedule on Saturday. Then I just decided, forget it. This is too complicated. I keep messing things up. So then I took Saturdays off. And so now I'm just kind of work about 25 classes a week, with the same exact children I've been teaching for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I have literally the exact same schedule every week, with exception of maybe like 3 kids that randomly pop in there every so often. But I like it that way. I really do.
Good. So not much for a surprise then. You know what you're going to get pretty much.
Yeah. And when I do have a surprise kid, it does sometimes like, whoa, I'm like being myself, and I'm like, we have not known each other. Let me stop pretending like I have seen you 400 times. Let me get this new teacher, like, new for you, happy face on, which can sometimes be a little weird if you haven't done it for a while.
I can be quite overwhelming. So I always talk about, I'm like, hi. And they're like,
exactly. Like, oh, sorry, you're not my regular. You don't know this drama.
I had a trial lesson this morning, and she did that to me, and I was like, oh, yay. And I'm like, what I say? Oh, turtle, fabu, for like the whole class. And I'm like, Ooh, okay.
Like we're doing a little too much today.
Oh, she was so cute and so excited.
I love it.
So, what are your favorite props, level, and rewards?
Oh man, I don't think when I saw this question, I was like, I don't have favorite props. It's weird. I like to use all of my props in different ways. So if I have stuffed animals, I want to almost test myself to see if I can use my stuffed animal in a way that is a little unusual. So maybe instead of it just simply being like, this is for a noun, right? For a turtle. Maybe the turtle starts to do different things in the class. Starts to like explain other concepts, verbs or nouns or prepositions or whatever it might be. I might use them just for like this humorous aside. And I think that idea and that multifunctional idea of the way that props are used in one prop being used in 10 different ways is something I really like doing. I used to have a few different ones. They weren't so much props, but I used to spin this all the time with one of my students because she had one too. And we'd spend almost the whole class just like looking at each other, spinning these things. It was very odd. But the two of us, it was like some type of connection that we could make. Rewards probably about the same. I'm a big I have physical rewards that I use, but I'm much more in tune with not like the non-physical, like verbal rewarding, finding different ways to get what's coming out of my mouth to like physically change the way that the student looks. Like if I can say something or give them a compliment and I can see the smiles and I can see the giggles and stuff, that kind of interaction is something I try to do on every single slide as I teach. So it's kind of like I'm feeding off of you, you're feeding off of me. I'm trying to read your body language. And so that we keep on this really fun roller coaster as we move through class. So much more of that than here's a pony. Cool. Put it in the pony place, right? And my favorite level. Oh, I don't know. Like I know everybody hates it, but I still love level 3. And I think I love it not because of the way it was created, because since we could have done a whole lot better. But I like it because of the like fundamental nature of all the teaching stuff in level 3. I feel like level 3 is that point where we're creating understanding for the grammatical concepts in English, and they're getting to the point where they're actually understanding structure. And I feel more of a teacher in level 3 than any other level. I feel like I'm laying down more foundation. Of course, level 2 is of course doing that, but really we just touched on the present tense. But we get into all these other little small finite details that actually help these children to sound like they know what they're talking about.
Right.
And then nobody really likes level 4 because it's just weird and reading and okay. I like the upper levels too, but if I were to be completely honest, it has nothing to do with the level. It has 100% to do with the kid. I couldn't care where they're at. If I see whoever is coming to class, I'm like, this class is going to be awesome. No matter what we're talking about. So that was my cop-out answer.
So we have 23 in the chat. I just want you guys to know if I'm looking over here, I'm reading your chats. If I'm looking down, it's my notes for Shannon. So
we got 23 people in the chat. What's up, everybody?
I know, that is awesome.
Oh, how awesome.
Amanda Panda said, I love level 3 too. The foundation is so important.
It's cool.
Hey, Micah. Thanks for sharing the link. I saw you had shared for us.
Oh, hey, Micah. Thanks. What up, bro? VIPKid Health in his house.
Martha says, I love Shannon. Hey, Martha. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Martha. What's up, girl?
And Jen, thanks for coming. Oh, new people. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Shannon.
Bring them on in.
Getting some new friends over here. This is great. Okay, don't forget, if you have something for Shannon or for me, please put it in caps so I know you're talking to us. Otherwise, keep having fun talking in the chat. Let's see. Jen Floyd said, rewards is a great question. I am now 15 months in and have had some students over 100 times. Awesome.
I understand.
That's great.
It's fun. It's awesome. I think it's not, I always get that question teachers will say something like, because I do a workshop called Mastering the Art of Teaching Regular Students. So that workshop is all about creating a classroom that's conducive for long-term retention of students. My top 10 kids represent over 2,000 classes with VIP. So, so for me, it was very easy to create a workshop about retention because all my students are retained. That was easy for me to do. But one of the things that people always ask are like, okay, how do I keep it fresh? Well, that is half the workshop, is keeping things fresh, but also realizing that it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about making the child happy. Yeah. So you don't have to go out. I mean, if you like this, do it. If you love the idea of using 75,000 different rewards and that's just like your thing, you're just, oh my gosh, I just want a reward for every single topic because this is just making me so happy. Do it, because your happiness is going to bleed off onto the student. Like they're going to feel it. So it's huge. But I don't think it's necessary for us to have to create some glorious amazingness when it comes to that. It's all about what works with that child. If I have a student who is absolutely in love with this stupid star that I have been using for 4 years now, if they love it and every time I use it, it just brightens their eyes and everything, I'm going to keep using it because it works for them. If I am using something that I want to use, but it's not working, move on, do something different. Yeah. You know, dance parties, high fives, pound it, all this stuff, right? Dance party. I hope you all are dancing. Love it. If you were not dancing wherever you were, shame on you. Shame. I know, right? I want to see the chat when you start dancing. Oh, you're dancing right now. I used to teach Zumba, so anytime anything comes on, I can't help it. Okay. There we go. There it is. I see it. And now I'm thinking that's how goofy I look when I dance in my classroom. I always say teaching is like you have a bag of tricks. And you just pull something out for each student. It might work with one, it might work with another. I don't know. Exactly. I agree. Totally. Oh, wow. The chat is like, whew. Shannon can beatbox. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got that beatbox on lock. I just like the connection with students. Let's see. Amanda, I shared all over social media and Facebook groups the live link. Oh, thank you, everybody. Oh, wow. Okay. You guys rock. Sweet. I should be on TikTok now. Oh, I won't read that out loud just in case you guys want to do that. Jen Floyd said the star is so cool. I know. I love it. If it ever dies, I'm going to be really sad. Let's get jiggy with it. Oh, you guys are great. Shannon should be on TikTok. No. That was a hard no. That was a hard no. That was a hard no. That was a fast no. Oh, Tara. Hey, Tara. Thanks for joining us. Oh, that was funny. Now my eyes are watering. Glad I didn't wear makeup today. Story of my life every day. I can't be the only person who doesn't use the beauty filter. I need to know who else I need to know who is listening doesn't use a beauty filter. I always go on Facebook and people are like, this is how I look without the filter. And this is how I look with the filter. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have never pushed that button. I just learned it and tried it. I pushed it once and it didn't do anything to my face. Yeah. And I was like, I still look the same. I still look rough. Darn filter. I still look the same. Like that's why people are like, oh, do you wear makeup? And I was like, I've worn makeup approximately 5 times in my life. And those were for weddings and pictures. This is what my face looks like. You see this? This is my face. If you don't like it, you don't have to look at it. But this is what my face looks like. And whether I'm sick, whether I'm feeling good, whatever, this is my face. Uh-huh. And I never have to worry about people going, oh, are you okay? Because I didn't feel like putting on makeup today. I'm not going to get caught by that. No, not this girl.
Danny used to be able to tell how I was feeling if I was sitting down in my chair or standing up. She'd be like, "Oh,
Uh-oh.
are you okay?" Tara said, "Gorgeous."
Gorgeous, love. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Let's see. Um, Micah said, "I don't. I am already beautiful." You are, Micah.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Meredith said, "I love the filter." Amanda Panda said, "I don't use the beauty filter. It is me. I use lipstick and that's it." Stephanie said, "You get what you get."
That's it. I love it. Me and Stephanie would be friends.
Right? Candy said, "I use the filter every class and I am always wearing an AR sticker."
Candy's covering that face up.
Amanda said, "Beauty filter does nothing for 3 a.m. face." 3 a.m. Pacific time in the house.
I don't even want to see what 3 a.m. face looks like for me.
Candy said, "Shannon, you have beautiful skin."
I appreciate it. I really don't. It's just the lighting. So,
Jen said, "Dance party again." Candy said, "Shannon, do you wear lipstick?"
Never, ever. I've never even bought lipstick before. I don't.
Really?
I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't have a clue to do with makeup. I'm such a useless female. Like I'm like, I can't cook. I don't clean. I don't wear makeup. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just here.
I'm lucky I married someone that doesn't expect that or is willing to do it all, because he'll come home from work and start cooking. I'm like, I guess I could have done that.
That's you got you one, girl.
Oh yeah. What was one of your biggest challenges starting with VIPKid?
Not sucking. No.
Even imagine. I don't know how to say this in nice terms. I think you could bull crap your way through it if you needed to.
Facts. But I think lack of knowledge was my thing. Like I was talking about earlier, I think that was the issue. I just didn't feel qualified to be a better teacher. And that's why when people come into my workshops, I'm so adamant about the fact that it's not enough to just be good enough. And that's what my latest podcast is about. Okay. It's titled Good Enough. And the whole podcast, it's only like 14 minutes. And the whole podcast is essentially this idea of, when did we become okay with being good enough? Like, has good enough ever actually been good enough? No, it never has been. And it shouldn't be. And I hear things on Facebook that make me sad. Because teachers will say things like, "Oh, well, no one's complained yet." What does that say about us when we choose to believe that just because it's not horrible, it's good? It's good. I don't know about you guys, but I don't ever want to consider myself a good teacher. I want to be an amazing teacher. I want to be a fantastic teacher. I want to be a fabulous teacher. Good will never, in my book, be good enough. So that was my challenge at the beginning, to get out of that place where I was just doing stuff, you know, like, oh, I'm just going through PowerPoint slides. There was a time when I was literally just teaching. And I know that might sound weird on the surface, but my teaching today is not just simply teaching. And it took me years to figure that out with teaching in the VIPKid classroom, that there was so much more to being a quality teacher than going through the PowerPoint slides. Yeah. It's not that. It's about creating something new, creating something special, creating something student-centric. All of those things, they took time for me to figure out how to do, and I'm still trying to figure it out today. How can I do better? How can I, improve on what I'm doing right now? What else do my students need from me, and how am I going to get that? So I would definitely say my biggest initial struggle was just figuring it out, how to go from okay to hopefully where I am today.
To a better me.
To a better me. Yes.
I want to make sure I'm always learning, an always learning teacher, Totally. So let's see. Oh, do you have a favorite teaching moment or a funny story to share with us?
You know, whenever I hear that question, favorite teaching moment, there's one thing that always pops into my mind. Because, you know, after you've taught thousands and thousands of classes, you've had a lot of good times. You
Yeah.
know, you get all those really cute moments with your regular students where stuff, you know, somebody says something and the two of you just die laughing for a good minute and a half and you're falling out of your chairs. And
Mhm.
it's just this moment where you're just like, man, that felt really good. But nothing will ever compare to the moment when I went into a class with a student and she had been a regular. This had to be in my maybe first year teaching with VIPKid. And I went in the class and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, where in the world am I? And this little girl is there sitting with two of her friends and they are in a karaoke bar. Like, you know, like China where you have your own personal room. So
Oh
they're
yeah.
in this karaoke bar and I'm like, what? Where are we right now? Are you kidding? And this, you know, of course, she has to show me around and stuff. So we go through this old level one. Like, well, I guess technically level one was level two back in the day. So old, it was about like colors or something. And we flew through that slide, possibly finished it in like 12 minutes. The whole PowerPoint was done. And then I was like, you guys gonna sing me a song? So like the three of them sang me a song. And then they were like, teacher, sing for us. So like, I was like, okay, whatever. So I just like sang and the kids were like dancing around and it was wild. And I remember finishing that class and being like, did I just get paid to like karaoke sing in a class? Like, for real? This is amazing. And that was just one of the first times that I, you know, had this insane experience that was only possible through the computer.
Right.
It was really, really cool. Of course, there've been a lot of other ones, you know, children saying how much they love you and different things like that. And being able to see my students for the first time after having seen them in person, which was
Yeah.
really, really cool. I was like, I just saw you last week.
Yay.
But all those things, you know, 4 years worth of memories have definitely been positive impact on my life. Definitely.
Yeah. So great segue to your trip. Can you tell us about your trip?
Oh, which one?
Oh,
Oh,
so for those that don't know, the picture on our thumbnail is Shannon at the bird's nest in China.
yeah. This is from my most recent trip. I
Okay.
actually, my first time to China, I actually won the China trip.
Oh, great.
The third one that they had, which was back in 2017. So it was August 2017. And such a cool experience because, to be honest, before I started with VIPKid, I would have never gone to China. Ever. It was at the bottom of the list of places I plan on going.
Really?
And of course, when someone says, "Hey, here's a free trip," you're like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll go for it." And it was so interesting and so different than what I expected.
Mhm.
And it was amazing experience to, like, you know, see the company firsthand. And I think that that's a big reason why I have a complete loyalty to VIPKid. You
Yeah.
know, I had someone ask me recently who they were like, "Hey, I want to ask you some like interviewee type questions," and one of them was, "What's another company you would recommend?" And I was like, "There isn't. Period. I don't care about any of these other companies. Whatever. I couldn't give a crap because I have a very close relationship with the people who run this company. I
Okay.
mean, something interesting a lot of people don't know about me because it's not something I share. I actually had a Skype chat with Cindy my second
Oh,
month with VIPKid. I don't know
wow.
how it happened, but I get this weird Skype message because we used to use Skype all the time, and she was like, someone was like, Cindy, the CEO, would like to talk to you about this, that, and the other. I had made some important waves as a brand new teacher, and I thought it was cool. So I remember that was like, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is so insane. How could
Yeah.
somebody care about me as a brand new teacher? And that, in addition to everything that happened and getting the different opportunities, had just like really solidified how much I care about the company. Is this company perfect? Heck no. Heck to the no errors left and right. But are the hearts in the right place? Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's something that I love about it. And being able to go to China and see everyone and interact with them and then see 8 of my students uh,
Oh.
was amazing. And then that I went again 2 years later, which was last October. So I went in October and I got to see 6 of those same kids again, which
Oh, good.
because I was still teaching them 2 years later. So
Wow.
it was like, here's our pictures from 2017,
Aw.
and now here are our pictures together from 2019. So
Aw.
cool. One of my kids, I left, and he's like, teacher, we'll see you again next time when you come to China, right? And I was like,
Okay.
okay, we'll see. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's cute. I'd go back to Asia in a heartbeat. I love it.
it's just so cool. So
I'd
cool.
like to go to China. Next year is my goal. I think
Make it happen. Make it
next
happen.
year. Let's see. Guys, I know I am missing things in the chat. Please feel free to stick them back at the bottom. Always reaching, always be reaching for the stars. Yes, Miss Jessie, good. Always keep learning as a teacher. That's my motto. People, podcast, listening now. It's amazing, seriously.
Amanda's such a good hype woman.
I know. Let's see.
Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? I love it.
Right? How do you get regulars to leave feedback?
How do you get anybody to leave feedback? I don't think it's as easy as just being like, hey, leave me feedback. I think, we go to some of our favorite restaurants and stuff, and yet we still don't fill out reviews on the internet. We go to the place that the fast food restaurant you go to every week, and every week they give you a receipt, and every receipt has a free something on the back. You just got to call in, and you still don't do it. But even though you love it. So I know some teachers have had success with getting parents to leave feedback by asking for it, not in a give me 5 apples type of way, but, saying something. I personally don't have experience in that department. So I try not to talk about things that I am not experienced in. So I have never asked for feedback. I have been very fortunate that some of my regulars are 100% feedback leavers, even though some of my kids who have had like 190 classes have left no feedback at all. For me, it wasn't something I needed. So I did not push for it. I do understand, though, as being a new teacher, it can be definitely difficult. But I say feel free to be honest about it. You just tell them how you feel, what you want, and see what happens, But yeah, I haven't personally had any success or lack thereof from doing anything specific.
Yeah. I have one regular that leaves feedback. That's it. One.
No.
My 5 apple feedback is 5%, but knock on wood, I haven't had a negative.
5%?
Yeah, all of my students are
Girl.
regulars, and they've had like one trial and then all with me, and I think they just don't know or didn't know, and then now that I'm asking, it's too late because they don't read the feedback. So
yeah, that's a toughie. It really is difficult.
Let's see. Ellen Gennaro, I want to be extraordinary if I get some students. You will be.
Oh, you will. Totally.
Ellen, how long have you been teaching? Oh, somebody else is asking her the same thing. I'm late. Hey, Cindy Palmer, nice to see you. Let's see. That's to Ellen. Oh, 2 months. Oh, you're good.
No, it's been a tough
9 classes the first 2 weeks. That is amazing, Ellen.
That's pretty good. Honestly, if you're getting any classes in your first month, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Let's see. Amanda Panda, here are my winning tips for bio for newbies. Thanks for sharing, Amanda. I love VIPKid, Amanda Panda. We know you do. If you haven't heard, Amanda Panda has an Etsy shop. It's great. Go visit it. She's doing amazing things on Etsy. I don't know if you've heard, but
I have seen.
Hello, Shauna. Sorry, I'm trying to get through some.
No, you're fine. I know they're going to town.
Feedback. Oh my, it's so hard, even though they keep booking me. Yeah, I feel like getting rebooked is the best feedback. Agreed, Gwen. Do you use WeChat? Oh, good question.
I do. I started using WeChat the first time I went to China. So I'm connected in a personal way to the parents. So it was like, beep, right? I think that WeChat can be great and it could be bad. So I always tell teachers to be very careful with what they do, only because I have not personally had any bad experiences, but I have been I have been in contact with teachers who have had bad experiences. Nothing weird, but like bad experiences to the point where a parent is expecting them to put in free time to help with a child with, oh, I need you to look at this for my child, and it's like edit this paper that they wrote or something like that. So I've seen parents do that. I've also had a VIPKid friend who had some trouble with a parent that she didn't want to teach the child anymore, and it felt like the parent was pressuring her to open slots and stuff. So I think it's a two-edged sword. I do love getting cute videos. I think there's nothing cuter than a video that randomly pops up of a child like playing the piano or like wishing you whatever. But I think other than that, I think WeChat can be great, but I think it also is something if anyone chooses to do, it should be done with caution. And probably done through feedback. If you want to give them information, probably go ahead and put it through your feedback instead of in the class.
Right.
But be careful that you're not just, hey, everybody follow me. Be very, 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 very careful.
And like Shauna said, do not ask the student, you ask the parent for WeChat.
I saw that in a Facebook group recently. I was like, yikes.
Asking the student?
Do not proposition a child. Can I have your WeChat? No, let's not do that. That was could be very, very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Shauna said when they leave feedback, she always asks them to leave I always thank them, then leave a personal message for the student.
It's such a nice it's so nice that we have the opportunity to do that now. We never had I mean, when I first started, we didn't even know parents left feedback. The first day that they opened the feedback, I had 125 feedbacks that I had to like go and read that was from before they opened it. So it's so nice to be able to have that knowledge about like the VIPKid world, which is so cool. So definitely, I agree totally. Definitely take advantage of that. Really cool.
Kelly, where did it go? Kelly said, yes, it's flattering to be rebooked, but we need the feedback for our raises.
Unless you're on the brand new contract that started this year. For anybody who might be watching, it's a little different.
Is it?
Contract's different now.
Wait, I knew
first. It's totally different, which is why I have to stay away from saying anything about the contract in my workshops. I'm like, this is for that, and they're like, I am not 100% sure. Anyone in the chat could help me with that, but I do believe that one of the things that was taken out was the use of feedback in connection with raises. I believe that has been taken out. If anybody knows for certain, especially any of you who do like a lot of referrals, please let us know.
Let us know.
That would be really helpful.
Great. Do you still have time? Are you okay on time?
Oh, I'm good. Okay. My day is free.
Woo! Mine too.
I like Tuesdays.
Let's see. Amanda said, ask for feedback. Say, I work hard to make each class special. I enjoy hearing from parents. Thank you for your feedback.
Awesome.
I think I got that from Amanda Panda. She said alternated every other week. Somebody told me that if you only do UAs, that's okay too, because that's when parents really read the feedback. They might not read it during classes, but if you ask during UAs, they're more likely to look. I think Amanda might have told me that. Oh, yep, it's there.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Nice. Thanks for bringing that up.
I learn something new every time from these interviews or from the teacher collaborations. I don't know if you know, but we collaborate every Monday. Every Monday on something VIPKid.
You're like throwing that awesome material into the world. I love it.
It's from all of you guys. I just get to like moderate and listen, and then everyone else chats. It's great. Awesome. Let's see. Yes, they do that. I have had them call me. Wait, then don't ask Kelly and don't leave your name. Sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to get through. That would be, I also have one right now to get me to help them sell masks in the US.
Oh,
somebody might have asked him. Let's see.
You never know what's going to happen.
Right. Not tied to feedback anymore. Thank goodness. Oh, so Micah said it's not tied to the feedback anymore.
Thanks for that, Micah. Yeah.
People on the new contract are not eligible for new raises ever.
Not eligible for new. There's something. I don't know.
We'd have to look into that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I haven't read it.
Oh, Shauna said, I have had parents tell me I will not leave feedback because other parents will find out about you. Then I have to fight to book
No.
you. Fight them to book you. Well, that's
Oh
hilarious.
my gosh, that is hilarious.
Okay. Let's see. What workshops do you lead?
Okay. So right now, I am doing few different ones. It's kind of weird. The schedule's kind of all over the place. Unfortunately, we don't get to choose what workshops we get to do. They just kind of tell you what to do, and you get what you get. But I strictly I'm doing both of the new teacher kickoff workshops. So for any brand new teachers, that's a great one. Or if you have a friend who gets hired, send them directly into the new teacher kickoff. So we have 2 parts now. So it's 1.5 and 1.5 hours. So those are really, really good. And they've actually got some cool statistics saying that teachers who are attending those are getting better feedback, are attending more classes as opposed to getting no shows than the teachers who are not. So they're really, really good for your new referrals. The ones that I have created that I do on and off, I have 4. So I do the extension and exemplification workshop, which is really good, but only appears like every other month, unfortunately. So I think maybe next month.
So what is that one?
Extension and exemplification. Super quality workshop. It's about creating this classroom that fits the ability level of the child. Okay. So, sometimes the kids are way off. It's too easy. It's too hard. Well, how do we adapt what's on the screen to fit the actual child's ability level? That's what the whole workshop's about.
Okay. So differentiating.
Yeah, exactly. Like adapting perfectly for the child. Another one that I've been doing for a little over a year, that Mastering the Art of Teaching Regular Students workshop. Love it. We talked about that a little bit earlier, just kind of creating that environment that children want to return to. How do you get a kid to come back 200 times? Like, how do you get them to want to see your mug for 200 classes?
The mug without the beauty filter.
Like, what is this? You want to look at this every day? Okay, cool. I'm cool with it. That one's been a fun one. There's a lot to that workshop, a lot about giving freshness to the classroom. How do you even start getting students to come back? What are the keys to that? What does that kind of feel like? And some things that we need to remember about being a regular teacher, because I strongly believe that there's a huge shift that happens when you teach a child multiple classes, or at least there should be a shift. It's like this idea that, why are we teaching these kids but treating them like they're newbies? Like, if you've been with a kid for 50 classes, there's no way in this world that class should feel like it's not the 50th in line. Like, or it's almost like scaffolding, but with knowledge. Like, what am I doing with what I know? Right? So that one's pretty fun. I also do the How to Teach Grammar Strategies for Success workshop. That one's a fun one.
I've been.
The grammar workshop, grammar sucks. It really does. But we kind of discuss in that workshop about the fact that it doesn't have to suck.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be difficult. My main motto in that workship is, it doesn't need to look pretty. It just needs to work.
I was looking for my cheat sheets. I wish I had this for every level. Amanda Panda, I was thinking about you the other day. So I bought, this is level 2 grammar. This is all that's in level 2.
Nice.
So I need one for upper level. So Amanda Panda,
you're gonna need a lot more sheets of paper.
Amanda Panda, I need you. I'm gonna give a shout out to Teacher Lisa's Time Savers for this one. So this is level 2 and 3. I found this on Etsy. It was my first Etsy purchase ever. Just recently.
Nice. That's awesome.
I don't know Teacher Lisa, and I don't know that she listens to these, but
she's getting a shout out either way.
She's got some great resources. So okay, so that was 3. Did you say you have one more?
Yeah, and the last one, which is the most important workshop that's out there, period, TPR and demonstration. It doesn't get any better than that. I've been doing that workshop once a week at least every week for over 3 years, and I still love it. I still think it is so powerful. And, you know, the fact that we're online right now and there are people listening and there are people who are going to watch this later on, I'm going to put it out there because every time I get a chance to talk about it, I think it's important. We have to get away from all of these rumors about what TPR is. We are in this unfortunate place that, yes, unfortunately, it is partially VIPKid's fault, with the invention of, and listen carefully, the invention of instructional TPR, which is not a TPR. That's not TPR. Period. Okay. It never has been. It never was. It should have been classroom commands from the beginning. But unfortunately, I keep seeing on social media and Facebook and Instagram that people keep talking about teachers doing TPR. And the research, that's not what this is about. Teachers don't do TPR, students do TPR. That's why it's total physical response, which is done by your student. This is so important that we get. And that's why every time I talk about it, I'm so passionate about it, because we are messing things up by thinking that the only person in the classroom that needs to move is us. Okay. Oh, it's just about me. I just need to flail my arms around and do stuff. It's not about us. It never has been. We are the facilitator. I am telling you guys, I keep seeing it everywhere. And the problem is that the people who are saying it, they're just saying what someone else told them, but no one's doing the research. And if you dig into the research, it tells you the fact that TPR is about student movement, because when students move in a kinesthetic type fashion, it allows the student to create the necessary glue that sticks together the known, which is the Chinese word, to the unknown, which is the English word. If there is no physical involvement, if there is no physical movement, this is why things are not retainable. This is why they drop out of short-term memory and disappear. If we want students to be able to retain contents, we have to use real TPR, which means we have to get our students moving physically in the classroom. It is a key. Yeah. It is important. And if you want any more information about that and you haven't attended my workshop before, definitely come check it out. I do it every single week. Okay. And it is extremely, extremely important. So please, folks, when you're out there, do not let these people say that it is all about teachers flailing their arms around. Please, we are better than this. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Better than this. We are better than this. Yes. Realize it is about our students, guys. It has always been about them. I love movement-based learning. I love it. Yeah. Yes, it works. It does. Okay, so now I'm part of a course for Nancy Taylor. She's got two. One is her ESL course, but the other one is, branding ourselves. So one of the things she told us to do was go to a workshop and learn all what we can before doing our videos on YouTube. So what do you think about me going to your workshop and learning about it the right way before I do my video? I'll save you a seat. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. Although I'll need to send it to you to make sure I do it justice before I appreciate it. Let's see. Shannon is so knowledgeable. Jedi Master. It's just about doing the research. Everyone can be just as knowledgeable. You just got to read. You got to read. Read the articles, read the books, listen to the podcasts, listen to the videos. Like, that's how we gain information about everything. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Oh, whew, I missed quite a bit here. What do you do when a child is way above their level? I have a level 3 that can't blend at all. It's so sad. It's really, really difficult. And I've been in that. I've actually seen that recently this week with some new kids. The number one step is to be honest with the feedback and the parents. So you're telling the parents what the child needs in order to progress. Because if a child's drowning, they'll never be able to progress. They'll progress much slower than if they were to drop them down and we were to move from there. So I think step number 1 is telling the parents. Step number 2 is telling the learning partner. Just making sure everybody knows that this is not a safe or comfortable place for the student. Mm-hmm. The second step, if the parents ignore you or the learning partner ignores you or they just say, too bad, figure it out. It's not easy. It will never be easy. But that next step is finding one thing you can work on and work on it one at a time. So I was talking to a teacher recently about this, and the idea was she was having the same kind of trouble with a kid who's out of level. And what I was telling her was, okay, can you find, let's say that they're out of level. It was a lot of grammar stuff and pronunciation, but let's say that they're out of level and there are 15 problems that you can identify. Well, what's the problem that's the closest to being fixed? So what's the easiest thing? Now, of course, it's already difficult in a kid who's in the wrong level trying to like fit in extra stuff in a class that's too difficult.
Right.
We got to figure that out. So I'm going to take some fluff stuff out of the class, because every level, every class has fluff. So I'm going to try and pull some of the fluff out, and I'm going to try to get myself 2 additional minutes. Whatever that looks like, I'm going to try to find 2 minutes somehow within my class. And I'm going to work on one specific thing in that 2 minutes, whether it is phonics, blending, sentence structures, learning how to read, whatever it might be. Start at the bottom and say, in this 2 minutes, we're going to create an additional activity that technically moves us back to what they already should have learned. But now that they're out of place, I got to try and learn stuff from the past.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. It is painful, painstakingly hard. It takes a long time, but there's no other option. The only other option is failure and letting the kid feel like they can't do anything. And that's never going to be okay. So that has seemed to be my best approach toward kids who are way out of place. It can be really frustrating. So I would say, just when you go into that classroom, take some deep breaths before you start it, and realize that what's about to happen is going to be very frustrating for you. And if you can't get past that frustration, you're not going to be able to do what that child needs. And I have to do the same thing. Like, it's like me, like, training all of my like teaching power into some part of my body. And I'm just like, I know this is going to frustrate me, and I know it's going to be hard. And I know at some point I'm going to want to give up, but I can't, because they deserve better than that. And I can't, because this is a part of this kid's future, and it means a lot to them. So 25 minutes, I'm going to give it my all. And then all the stress that I'm going to pin up during that class, I'm going to let it go afterwards. I let it go.
I'm a glass half full. I sit there and I'm like, I can't wait to see what this kid is going to learn. I can't wait to see when this breakthrough happens. Like, it's going to be there. Maybe not today, but it'll be there.
It will.
You have a bunch saying that they love your workshops, and they've been to different
ones. Thanks for coming,
guys.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just took our workshop.
Woo! TPR is the win.
Right? I thought I took a TPR class, but I've only been to your grammar one.
Shame on you.
But I went to the new teacher kickoff with all of the list when I started. So maybe I did, and I just don't remember which teachers.
Don't worry about that. You got to get into the other ones, girl. You got to come. You got to see it.
Well, I've been to most. I love the workshops. Let's see. Newbies, write in all caps. Oh, thank you, Kelly. She just said a write in all caps, so I can find them all easier. I think you answered this before. How do you get to host workshops? It's kind of the right place at the right time, right?
It really is. I mean, you can be this amazing, perfect teacher. I think it's being like exposed. I hate to say it. I really do. I really hate to say it. But if you are just doing your thing, the chances are very low. Unfortunately, at this point, they seem to be like gravitating toward people who are in some way, shape, or form involved social media wise.
Yeah.
I do not believe that you need to have any kind of social media in order to be an absolutely fantastic teacher and have immense amount of knowledge to share with the community. Unfortunately, it is moving in that direction.
And how you get seen. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's just the problem with working for an online company.
Yeah.
You got to be seen somehow, right?
Right. And that's part of the builders program, right? So they send that out probably, and you apply. I don't know.
They should, but I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, that one might not be. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever seen anything in the builders program. So I've been in 8 months.
Some stuff out soon. Yeah.
Yeah, they just did one. I don't remember.
Something.
Grammar is fun. I love grammar.
You are
Candy.
In a group of your own.
Candy, you and I tell you, we're like yin and yang in some things. And Kelly Tag too. Her and I we're great fits. Let's see. TPR is important. I agree. Casey, your nails look beautiful. Thanks. If you could see them up close, my quarantine nails are not so much. Feel free to ignore, but I don't know. I've been told not to ask them about money on here. She said
we wouldn't be able to tell anyway.
What's that?
Wouldn't be able to say anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I've had you're the third mentor on here, so let's see. The most powerful learning is when kids do the TPR all the way. I agree.
And anything else is not TPR. So,
Micah, what does this mean? What about mirror neurons?
I'm gonna have Micah bring that up at a later date.
Micah, tell us what you mean in there. Is that like mirroring, like them mirroring you?
I'm not sure.
Is that like modeling, maybe? I don't know. He'll let us know. I'm sure of it. Let's see. Ed Nace gives similar advice about the out of place kids. Yeah, I still have not finished that book. I've reached out to him to see if he'll come on here and talk about his books, but I haven't heard. Wow, Shannon is so knowledgeable. Thank you so much. She needed the pointers. Great, Candy. Elizabeth, can you say again where you got the grammar tips you printed out? Oh, me.
Lisa.
Yeah, teacher Lisa's time savers on Etsy, I believe. And they came like this, laminated and stuff. I will say though, when you hold it up, you get a glare and my camera goes all dark, but they've worked great for me. So I really need some higher level. So if teacher Lisa or Amanda Panda can make me some, I would like it. Let's see. I attend all of Shannon's workshops over and over. I always learn something new. That's from Amanda L.
The repeat offender.
Awesome. What social media do the parents see? Yeah.
WeChat. Weibo.
Yeah.
And Chinese ones.
What's that?
Just Chinese ones.
Yeah, those are the two I know of too. And I just heard of the Weibo one from the Good Fortune Box ladies that came on. They were featured there from VIPKid featured them on there. So that was fun. Let's see. Enter the Hutong challenges. That is how I was selected for the commercial and North America rebranding campaign. Oh, awesome.
Hutong.
I'm not in the Hutong enough. I need to get in there. Yes, Kelly, he did come on your live stream. I remember you telling me that. That's when I was brand new. Amanda Panda put on a Teachers Pay Teachers. Is that to your site, Amanda? That's probably
maybe that's the other one she was telling you about.
Oh, maybe
telling her about.
Here are the grammar tips. Micah said, laugh out loud. Well, they have done many studies that if you perform a physical action as an example, the neurons in the observer's brains fire as if they are doing the movement themselves. It's a coaching term.
Interesting. Yeah, it's the first step. We got to get the second step. Let's get them moving.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I can agree with this in two steps. Like the younger students definitely need to be moving more. If you're coaching older kids, maybe I could understand that.
Well, that's the thing people don't even realize. TPR was never actually created for older children. It was never created for advanced or intermediate. It was strictly created for beginners.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. People always say, how do I TPR in level 6? Well, we can talk about it, but it's not exactly what it was created for,
Great. Here's the live stream with Ed Nace. Thank you for posting that. And Amanda Panda posted her shop. Awesome. Let's see. I want to know, how do you handle tough, distracted students? Or
I just leave.
She pulls out her spinner and distracts them back.
I'm just like, okay, until you're ready. I think it really does depend on the child. If I feel like it's one of those, there's some of those kids who just need a moment. Like they just need to be distracted for a few seconds and then
don't I.
I'm like, okay, cool, let's be distracted together. And then we'll come back. But if it's something that's a little bit more concerning, I have no problem in contacting the firemen. I don't have an issue with that if it seems to be something that's actually messing with the class. If it's something I can get through the class, I might talk about it in the feedback to the parents. Those old suggestions. Johnny needs someone to sit with him during class or something like that. I had a student. Oh, man. Kevin. Everybody's got a Kevin.
I was just going to say that.
Everybody's got a Kevin. So this kid is cray. And I have been on and off teaching this kid. I think I've taught him maybe 30 times in 3 years. And those 30 times have only been when he could sneak into my schedule, because he will always get denied priority bookings because he's not a very nice child, kind of meanie. And he plays video games all the time. And it's funny, mom reads the feedback because she'll reply back to my feedback. Oh yes, Kevin doesn't pay attention, but thank you, teacher, for being so wonderful. 5 apples. And I'm like, Mom, I just want you to sit there with them. Just do it. So it was funny. I remember going through this like roller coaster over those 30 classes of like me being like, I can do this. And then me being like, I'm falling apart. And then at the end now I just kind of let Kevin do his thing. I'm like, look, I know who you're going to be. And this is who you're going to be. And I have done the necessary things on the outside to fix it. And it was weird. Once I kind of gave up being like, you have to do this, you have to do it. Why won't it was weird. It was kind of like I pulled back and then he pulled forward. Yeah. And it was just kind of like I was like,
bag of tricks, something didn't work. Next.
Okay, Kevin. I'll let you go at your pace. I will still finish class on my pace, but we'll go at your pace. And it's weird. Like sometimes when I don't push him, he just kind of comes back to the world, and I'm like, okay, work it.
That's my Jimmy. I give him a second, but when he's ready to work, we got to work and get some stuff done. But then he needs a minute. But the funny thing is when he's playing video games, mom's on the side of him playing her computer game.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
So, and they tell me all the time they play games together. That's their thing. I'm like, yeah, but not like now during class.
Not right now while you're paying all this money.
Right? Sorry, somebody's walking through my grass. I was just kind of like, who's that? But they're going to the neighbors. They're just walking around. What? What did you say?
I said coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh, no. You know, I think it's just heading this way now.
Oh, really?
But let's not go on that one.
Oh boy. They're trying to open back up Georgia, and everyone's like really angry. And really? I'm like, they can open whatever they want. I'm not going.
It doesn't mean you have to go.
Yeah. I do not need to go get my nails done while people are coughing everywhere. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I have asthma, so I've been food shopping, and that's pretty much, and lots of walks outside. That's my thing. I just go for walks. Agreed. Candy, I have a Kevin. He was a hot mess.
I think most Kevins are hot messes.
I have a regular who has started to be distracted every class. He is on another web page. I have told the parents, and they will sit with him. Then it happens again over and over. Where am I? I am in Florida.
Florida. Yeah. I was born in Florida.
I'm in the Panhandle though, so when everyone asks me and I say like 0900 Central, it's a habit because I'm in the Panhandle. So yeah, 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Wild.
Meredith said she's in Georgia and she's staying in.
Yes, stay inside, Meredith. We are not bothered with this.
No.
We are not bothered with the governor saying nothing. I don't care what he has to say. I'm staying at home. They can open everything they want.
Yes, Candy, she is Georgia. Let's see. Well, if you have any last minute questions for Shannon or for me, please put them in the chat. I mean, I have plenty of time, but I don't want to take up everybody else's time.
I think the only other thing that I wanted to mention before we finish up, since the time is almost there, is
we do have 3 final questions for you too.
Okay, good.
But that's at the very end.
Oh, that's right. I remember. So yeah, I have a program that I started not that long ago. And I haven't really advertised it at all, other than maybe a little bit through folks who reach out to me. But I have started doing one-on-one mentorship with teachers who are interested. So I charge $25 for an hour. And what that is that allows me to spend 60 minutes with you for whatever reason you want. I've taken a look at teachers' profiles. We've had actually teaching sessions between myself and teachers. We've gone through PowerPoints. I've taken a look at teachers' classes, just kind of giving them some instant feedback off of what's happening. So if there are any teachers who are feeling like they're maybe struggling, maybe getting some bad feedback, or they just want someone to give them some one-on-one personal attention, feel free to reach out to me, and I can tell you a little more about my program.
Do you have a
And
link to sign up?
I do.
We're gonna put it in the bottom in the description box.
Yeah, let me find it. I can maybe I
You
can give it
send
to
it to me after.
you, and then you can pass it along.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I started up not that long ago, and it's something I've wanted to do. It's for a long time actually, and it's been really rewarding to be able to help teachers out with feeling comfortable in a one-on-one setting. So that kind of doing some fine tuning. I know a lot of people are interested. So if you have any friends that are newer or maybe struggling or getting some bad feedback and thinking, man, I hate the fact that this is happening to me. What can I do? How can I improve? Or teachers who are just not comfortable with teaching is something that I'm looking forward to doing. There is the link. I dropped it into the actual Zoom chat.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't get access to the other one. I can see it, but I can't.
If you sign in and say hello, then I can put you on there.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, is trying to figure out how to sign in.
You just want a blue wrench. I know it.
I do. Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to post this after because I don't have YouTube up on my computer because we hear double. So I always take it off my computer. So I will definitely put that in the description box.
Cool.
And you can sign up that way. Okay, Amanda L. So that's the best way to reach her. Candy said, better to be broke than dead, better to be 6 feet apart than 6 feet under. Yikes,
I agree.
It's true statement.
I agree. I don't want to be dead. Like,
right?
I am not interested in that dead life. Like, I am not into that. I am not into that dead life. I don't want anything to do with that. Oh wait, maybe hold on. That's the.
Oh, now I hear myself.
Oh, that was me because I clicked on the thing. I finally got logged in, I think.
Oh, good.
I think. Am I? Is it me? Oh, it is me. Let's see.
Say hello, and I'll give you a blue wrench, and then you can put it in there, and everyone can click on it.
Okay.
But don't click away from us before we say goodbye.
Oh, look at it. There's my. That's me. That's my
Teaching
YouTube page.
tips for VIPKid with mentor Shannon.
Yes, that's my.
That's quite the long name.
It is, right? It's like 2 years old. That back then I didn't know what to do.
Say hello again, and you're gonna have a blue wrench.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
I have to tell you though, when you have a blue wrench and you're in one of these chats, poor Kelly had to work so hard with Nancy Taylor when she was on my channel. We had some nasty haters in there. YouTube took down the chat and everything, but Kelly had to erase and get rid of people.
Well,
and so did Casey and a couple other people too.
And no matter where you go, there will always be trolls. Trust me, I know about it. You haven't been with VIPKid long enough to know, but I know there are some people in the chat who know exactly what I'm talking about without me having to say anything about it. There are plenty of trolls. I don't see it. It's right there.
I don't see it.
After my hello.
Do you guys see it, or am I correct?
Oh, there we go.
It just came up.
Bazinga. Cool. Awesome.
Okay. The link is, it's a Calendly link too. Yes. So that's good because she has her times picked out. All you have to do is click on a day that she has ready to go. You click on it, times will show. Click on it. So
cool.
Yeah, I've used that, not for me, but to book other people. So.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool resource, and it's super easy to work. Like it creates Zoom links on its own. Like, I was like, what? Yes, it was great.
That's nice.
It is nice. So yeah, it's been really nice. Because I have I've probably had, I don't know how many sessions I've had, but it's been really, really nice to be able to. Yeah, I try to help people out during workshops, but of course, there's like 70 other people around, and you're like, I gotta answer your question in 2 seconds so that someone else can ask a question. But instead, just being like, it is 100% yours. Nothing else matters right now but what you need, and whatever I can do to help you to become a better teacher, It's yours.
I have to tell you, $25 for 1 hour is amazing. I've seen a lot of coaches that are $25 to $30 per 30 minute, they're doing like a class, like a VIPKid 25-minute class, and it's like $20 to $30.
I'm not trying to get rich. I have actually been doing this type of thing for years for free.
But it's deserving of your time.
Yeah,
and you're a great resource. So
for me, I think in my mind, it's better to be affordable for those who need it than for me to blow something out of the water and say, oh, well, I'm worth more. You know what? I honestly believe our students are the ones that benefit. And whatever I can do to help our students benefit, I'm completely happy with that. Good. So, yeah.
And let's see. So we've had this discussion a lot on here. What is the best profile picture to increase bookings? Classroom or professional headshot? This is so subjective. We've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's a correct answer. I think the best possible picture you have is the answer, because the first picture is going to be the first thing they see, right? So in reality, no matter what that picture looks like, it's going to say a few things about you. Are you happy? Do you look nice? Is there warmth in your eyes? Do you look like someone who I want to interact with my child? And that is the first step. Whether you look professional or whether you look funny, they're still going to say the same thing. I think that each of us has a certain kind of personality. Yeah. So if your personality leans more towards funny, then maybe an in-class picture might work better. If your personality leans toward professional, then that type of headshot might actually be better for you. But I do not believe there's any research or statistics out there to say that one is better than the other.
Yeah. So I was making a video about featured pictures, and I just found on VIPKid you did one.
Yeah.
Because I had asked all my friends to send me their pictures so we can compare and talk about it and whether classroom was best. And then I'm like, oh, Shannon.
They asked me to do it a while ago, but at least it was something good to look at.
Yeah. Is it new? Because I've just recently found it.
It's old. Or at least I recorded it like over a year ago.
Oh, so
I don't know where it's been. Stuff gets lost on the portal, I think. Sometimes they put stuff on there and like no one knows how to get to it, so no one ever sees it.
Well, I was searching for it. And you know something I do love? Your FAQs. On the certifications, I print out your FAQs to use.
I totally forgot about those too.
During our Monday collaborations, I ask, the panel some questions that you've answered, and I'll actually say, here's the question, they answer it, and then here's the answer from Shannon. So if you watch some of them.
I'll have to do that. I'm definitely not that much of an authority, but
you've been a part of them. You just didn't know it.
I didn't know. Nobody told me. I can't believe we still have 24 people watching this. Wild.
I know. I get off these sometimes. I'm like, wow, aren't people sick of me?
Sorry,
but that's why I have great guests, right? You guys are all helping me out.
Boom.
All right. I think we're good in the chat. Something eye-catching is what we talked about yesterday. Yes, Amanda Panda.
Mm-hmm. Bye, Amanda.
Yeah, bye, Amanda. Okay, last 3 questions. What are qualities of a good teacher?
So I think that my number one, which I think encompasses all of the qualities, is that you care. Yeah. I remember reading this question once on Facebook, and I thought about it for a while, and then it kind of just came to me that caring about the child, like not caring about a paycheck. Yes, we all need to be paid, but it's caring about the child genuinely that creates or transitions us into a better teacher. Right. When I care, I work harder. When I care, I give more of myself. When I care, I transform. Right? And so I think by simply caring about the child that's sitting in your classroom, it in itself can push you to become the best version of yourself. Whether that is the best prop user or the best rewarder or the best, grammar person that you can be, or, caring is the thing that stops a teacher from saying, good enough. well, I don't need to be prepared.
Right.
Let me not go off on a tangent right now about folks telling people on the internet that they don't need to prepare for classes. We are not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about this because then we will be here for 100 hours. But I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave it like this. The fact is flexibility is the key to being a quality teacher. You, in fact, lose your flexibility when you have no idea what the next slide says. You cannot truly be your 100% self if you are going into anything blind. You just you can't. And it might be good enough and it might not have been complained about, but it was never what it could have been.
True.
We had to have been prepared, right?
Yeah.
So I think all of those things, really just caring about teachers, about students. If we care about them, I don't know, everything just kind of falls into place.
Yeah. I always say teachers don't usually get into teaching for the money.
I hope not.
I mean, there's so many other jobs that you can do that pays more, but if you get into teaching, hopefully you just love it. Yeah. Casey, you should do a podcast. I'm scared of podcasts.
It is kind of weird, but it's fun.
Casey Morrow knows I was so nervous for a podcast because my voice is so loud. I'm always scared I'm yelling.
You can put your mic far away.
Yes, I am super far away and I'm still loud. Everybody. Yeah, kindergarten teacher here. I can call the kids in from the playground probably a mile away. My voice is like, whoa, and I don't need to yell. So where do you see yourself in the next few years with VIPKid? Or where do you...
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I can definitely say that there are places I wish I would be and places I don't believe I will be. And it's just because I know how this company works. It's very hard to move in any kind of direction other than straight across. And it's just not one of those things. I would love to have a more involved VIPKid life. I would love it. I mean, I already have a very involved VIPKid life, right? But I hope that in the next few years, I'm still having the privilege of doing workshops. It's one of the things that I enjoy the most. There's not a lot of things that make me as happy as when I get the opportunity to share something that I'm very passionate about. Passion's such a cool part of life. You find something you're passionate about and you get to express it. It just kind of exudes from your body. And I think that's something that I love doing in my workshops. So I hope that those still continue down the line. Hopefully getting the opportunity to still be involved in things like, VIPKid journeys and stuff like that, which have been really fun.
Journey.
Do I think there'll be? Yeah.
See, they are the DC ones.
Is this DC?
I think it's the same one I have on.
No, this is
Nevada, Vegas.
Would I wish for more? Yeah, definitely. But I'm satisfied as far as satisfied could be right now. Hopefully, maybe getting the opportunity to help more teachers. Hopefully, eventually figuring out how to branch out and do a bit more mentorship and stuff like that, because it's also something I really enjoy. Otherwise, just hopefully I'll still have my kids in a few years.
I look forward to hearing how you got to meet them again.
Oh man, third time's the charm, right?
Right, but this time I'm going with you.
Yes.
I'm easy to travel with.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I had a question for you. Oh, not a question. The next time I see you at a journey, I will definitely go up to you.
Please don't just run away.
I didn't at all. No, see, I did it to you and Nancy Taylor. You were both by yourselves and you hadn't been by yourselves at all the whole time. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go up there when she's actually having alone time.
Oh, I don't believe in alone time. Nancy probably does, but that's not me. I don't. I'm wild like that. I'm just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Ah!
That's me too. I'm very loud and obnoxious.
Oh, I enjoy it. I think it's wonderful. I love meeting teachers that I have seen or met or known from social media or workshops. I think it's one of the best parts about being a journey is just getting to make those connections and seeing those connections turn into real life things is so cool. So cool.
we've talked about it on here that we're gonna have a meetup here in Florida sometime. Just we can make our own and everyone come and say hi and meet each other because we've been together for
Nice.
months on here. So
I hope the next journey is still in Atlanta.
oh,
I was so sad.
that'd be great.
I was so disappointed.
Shannon is very approachable. Yep, I was only in
I hope
VIP
so.
Kid for a couple months, so
Cindy, that's my girl Cindy from Tejas.
Cindy Pummer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we met at Journey in
Oh,
Dallas.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Cindy's been in VIP Kid for a while then
A
too.
long time, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cindy, we've got to chat. We haven't chatted very much. Okay, last question. Your favorite teaching resource?
I know this is gonna sound really weird, but experienced teachers.
Oh, like, other teachers, yeah.
I have a couple of friends that I've made that are, teachers with master's degrees in education and have taught for years and have actually taught ESL. And sometimes they are my number one resource because there are questions that I just don't find the internet helpful with. And
Yeah.
it's like, what am I going to do with this? Like, just because they can tell me how this works doesn't mean I have a clue what I'm doing. And so I will sometimes reach out to them and just be like, I'm struggling with something right now. And I'm having a really hard time. And they always have good answers. So I think that, yes, there are a lot of cool resources. And, I have a resource list that I always give out in my workshops, which, the curriculum overviews are awesome. Because they give you one thing that you can't just find with VIPKid, and that's understanding about the way that the slides work, the way that the PowerPoints work. I think that's my number one favorite thing about being a long-term VIPKid teacher is I know when everything's taught. I know what grammar is taught where. Okay, 6,000 classes later, I know when they learned what. And so that gives me this really awesome perspective or ability to teach in a very specific way. But when I am falling and things are not working, number one is like, hey, girl, or rather, hey, girl, I'm struggling with this. And I know that you know so much more than I do. Please help me out.
I'm reaching out to fellow speech teachers right now. I have one that can't do the frontal speech. He can't do the back. Everything is in the front. So I'm reaching out to them for help right now because that's hard to teach over the computer too. On here I've heard YouTube, I've heard workshops, but I think you're right. Other teachers are a great resource.
I think as just a final thing, as we're finishing up, I think it's really important that everybody be very careful with who they listen to. And just because somebody told you, even me, just because someone said, oh, Shannon's a great workshop leader, go listen to her, that doesn't necessarily mean you should trust everything that comes out of my mouth. Like, we have to do the research, because if we're not doing the research, we're falling into this weird gap that, unfortunately, there are some things on YouTube, there are some things on Facebook, there are some things on Instagram that are just wrong. They're just wrong. And it's not that the person is trying to share wrong information. It's just they're not informed correctly. So, it's great that we're listening to people, but I have a podcast called Who Do You Trust?
Okay.
And that podcast was created after hearing something really garbage on Instagram. And I was a little annoyed, and I was like, why? And it was this idea of making sure that, yes, we do trust this person, and yes, we do trust that person, but we're also intellectual beings. We're intelligent enough to also do our own research. That might be a lazy side of us not wanting to do it, but I think it's important that we find the answers also for ourselves, or at least let these people tell you where they got it from. Show me the research.
If you ever hear something wrong on mine, make sure you tell me so I can go back and update, because I want to make sure that it's helpful to all. Okay, so there's an inside joke I'm supposed to tell you.
Okay.
Tell Shannon she better be keeping her receipts and no cookies.
Who wrote that?
Paula Gross.
Paula!
Are you going to share a story with us?
No,
or there's just leave it hanging?
That's a deep inside joke. That's a
deep inside joke. All right.
I have all the receipts, Paula. I have all the receipts.
All right. Well, I need to get off here now because I need some cookies.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. Shannon, you have been amazing. I really appreciate you coming on here. And if you ever want to come back up on here and dispel some myths and some TPR stuff.
Yes, that was.
What was the other thing you
It
said?
was very fun.
Not preparing. We could have a whole
not
talk on not
preparing.
preparing.
Oh my gosh. You know, I don't care what people choose to do in their own classroom. What you want to do with your class and your students is your independent contractor self. But when you tell other people what to do, that's when I get involved, because that's
like,
when it
ugh.
that's when it becomes a problem for me, when we tell other people that something is a good idea when it's an opinion.
Yeah.
That's an opinion, and it's not a good opinion either.
Right.
So
Especially if you're one complaining about low bookings.
Yeah, or bad feedback. Or, you know, I just, for me, because of always, you know, for doing workshops, and the majority of the time I see workshops, they're always new teachers. So I have always felt a very close tie to new teachers in general. I feel like we got to take care of new teachers because they're important. Everyone's important, but I think new teachers are in a weird place because it can be very easy to get a lot of information thrown at your face, and you think that that's true. And whenever I see something that is information that should never be heard by a new teacher, I'm like,
So come on here anytime. You let me know, Casey, I need to chat this out.
I need to talk about this with the masses.
Yes. Not that I have masses, but you know, we've got some on here.
Masses. It's close.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks,
and everybody in the chat. This was an awesome moving chat. I loved it.
It was fun.
And please give us a thumbs up, and that's it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Shannon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, if I can end this right. There we go.